Hi and welcome. So today I'm going to go through a new feature that's arrived in LibreNMS, which is device dependencies. I'm going to show you how to set those up in the web interface, and I'm also going to just explain a little bit about what device dependencies are. So firstly, I'm going to just explain a little bit about what device dependencies actually do for you. So with this, you can basically set a parent device against a child device. And what this means is if you're alerting, for instance, on down devices, first of all, what the alerting system will do is it'll check if a child device has any parents. If a parent exists, it will check the status of that parent device. If that device itself is up, then the original child device will receive the alerts. If that parent device is actually down, then only the parent device will actually receive the alerts being down. So it's kind of a way to suppress alerts for individual devices that may be behind another device. So one example there is you might have an aggregate switch with multiple switches connected off the back of that. If you make that aggregate switch a parent for all of those child devices, child switches, and the parent device actually goes offline, you'll no longer receive alerts for individual switches, but will receive one just for the aggregate switch itself. If the aggregate switch stays online and a number of the child switches fail and go offline, then you'll receive individual alerts for those child devices as you would do previously. Okay, so to access this new feature, head over to the Devices menu at the top and go to Device Dependencies. In here, you'll get a list of all of the devices that you have within the system, and it'll also display which parent hosts associated with those devices if there's been anything set up previously. So on this section itself, you've got two ways to manage these dependencies. One is via the Manage Device Dependencies at the top here, and this allows you to bulk assign child devices and parent devices in one go, so it kind of makes it a little bit simpler to set this up initially. The other option is to manage them individually against each device. So if we know we need to set up just a parent host against the first device here, then we can just edit this directly, and it's a bit of a simpler way to do it. So I'm going to show you first off how to do that against this one single device, and then I'll move on to showing you the other areas you can make these changes in. Okay, so first of all, just edit that device. You get a input box now where you can then specify the other dependencies for this particular device. So it's free type text field, but it will actually populate based on the host you've got within the database. If you choose none here and then click save, then it will blank out any of the actual dependencies for this host. But first of all, we obviously want to add in a dependency for this device. So we've only got two devices here, so we're just going to add the second LibreNMS host in that we have, and then click save. Okay, so you'll now see that on this page here, we can see that the 01 host is now a dependency for 02. So what this means in our alerting system is if 02 host is down, then we won't receive any alerts for 01 host if that's also down as well. Okay, so like I said, if you want to clear this out, you can either just go in and delete this, or you can just set it to none and then save, and then that wipes out obviously any dependencies for that particular host. You can also just go back and set this one back up. If you've got multiple ones in there, you can actually do this straight from here by just clicking delete, and that will go through and also delete any of the dependencies for that particular host. Okay, so that's the single device ability to make changes quite quickly, but you've also got the ability to go in and do this on bulk, en masse. So we're going to manage device dependencies here. Okay, and we can basically choose which is the parent host. We can have multiple one of those, but again, as we've only got two hosts in here, we're just going to stick with using 01 here as the parent host. It's already populated those child hosts that we have, and we can delete out 01 because we don't want it to be a dependency of itself. And we've basically set up exactly what we did a second ago, but on the opposite host instead. So we save that now there. You can see now the 02 host has got now a parent host of 01. Okay, so again, you can clear this out by hitting the delete button, or you can actually just go back in, and if you set this to none for all of these, it should clear this out now. And we're back to blank. So it's a quick way of clearing those out as well. Now, the final way to be able to manage host dependencies for an individual device is by going to single device that you want to add some parents for, go to Edit, and in the first box here we can see that this device depends on, at the moment, none, but if we change that, and we can add in the O2 host for this one. Upon saving, that should be complete. So we head back to the device dependencies section, we should see that that's taken effect there. So that goes to show you just where you can make these changes in the web interface. We do hope that as time goes on, more features will be added, such as being able to populate the dependencies using sort of LLDP, CDP, etc., and some of the other information that we may already have within the database. For now, though, obviously you've got to manage all of that manually, but it does allow you to set these dependencies up and suppress alerting for sort of any major outages or any outages to devices which manage multiple devices off the back of it. Thanks for watching.